Before we begin officially the meeting of the Falls Township Board of Supervisors, we're going to have swearing in of 3 of our township officials, 1 new township official and 2 re-elected township officials. We're very glad to have our District Justice, Jan Bezlowski, here to swear in all 3 of our officials. And we're going to begin with Kim Scarpiello as tax collector.
Okay, you're going to repeat after me.
I, Kimberly Scarpiello, having been duly elected to the office of tax collector for the Township of Falls, County of Bucks, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, do solemnly swear I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations. There's 2 copies to sign. There's 2 copies to sign, and one's for you and one's for...
Okay, thank you very much. Congratulations to Ms. Scarpiello. Next, we will have, as a new township supervisor, Jeff Boraski.
Guys, you want to hold that? Got it? Everybody have it? Okay. Raise your right hand. Put your left hand on the Bible. Repeat after me.
I, Jeff Boraski, having been duly elected to the office of Supervisor for the Township of Falls, County of Bucks, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Kid's wife. We don't tell wives what to do. Okay, and also for this evening, being sworn in is John Reba, who is an auditor.
Everybody here with you? Hold that. Put your right hand. Repeat after me.
I, John Reba, have been elected to the office of auditor
For the Township of Falls,
for the Township of Falls,
County of Bucks,
County of Bucks,
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
There's 2 copies in here, one for you and one for the township. You need this.
Want Pete Sullivan and I in the back?
You want to get one like this and then one by sitting? Yeah, just like this is
No one's ever going to confuse you guys with the cast of The Bachelorette.
No, he's really good out there.
Because you're also much better looking. That's what I think.
Maybe I'll take a seat in the audience.
Maybe we should.
He's a burger is. He's a burger is. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Thank you. Congratulations to all the newly sworn-in officers of Falls Township. We appreciate, obviously, all the service that you have provided and will continue to provide. And again, special thanks to District Justice Jan Kozlowski for being here, as she always is, to swear in our new members. We're going to begin our reorganization meeting. This is the first meeting of the year. We will begin, as always, with the salute to the flag, please. Okay, thank you. Mrs. Pullen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Galloway?
Here.
Mr. Bransky?
Here.
Mr. Harvey?
Here.
Mr. Dents?
Here.
Mr. Rocco?
Here.
Okay, first thing we want to do is have a temporary chair to preside over the meeting until a chairman of the Board of Supervisors is selected by the remainder of the board. Chair, is there a motion for a temporary chair at this time?
I'll make a motion to appoint yourself, Mr. Harvey, as temporary chair.
I'll second.
All right, thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'll abstain. Okay, as temporary chair, first item of agenda is to appoint a chairman for the year 2014 for the Falls Township Board of Supervisors. Is there a motion at this time for chairman?
I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Bob Harvey.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity and the trust that you four gentlemen put in me. I'm assuming that at this point anyway.
Haven't voted yet.
Haven't voted yet. You're right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll abstain. Okay, item 2 is to appoint a vice chair for the 2014 Falls Township Board of Supervisors. Is there a motion for vice chairman?
I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Jeff Dents.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. Motion for Secretary Treasurer of the Falls Township Board of Supervisors.
I'll make a motion to appoint Jeff Rocco, Secretary Treasurer.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Stand.
Assistant Secretary and Treasurer is typically the manager that allows, for example, if there's something that the treasurer cannot sign, if there's a document or checks that the treasurer cannot sign, it allows the manager to do that in his place and act as a treasurer. Is there a motion to appoint Mr. Gray as the Assistant Secretary Treasurer?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, item 5 is public comment. We have a 5-minute limit per person, 45-minute maximum. Mr. Gray is retrieving the public comment sheet. Okay, Roland Kenny?
Good evening, Roland Kenny, Falls Township. Congratulations, Jeff 3. She left. Congratulations, young man. Only one thing I'll ask you to do. You know, everybody thinks me and Mr. Harvey don't get along, but we get along quite well. Because if I say something that he don't like, he says it right then and there. He brings it up, and I answer him. We never have no problem. It's called respect. That's what I'll ask you. If anybody gets up here and says anything you don't like, question one right then. Don't wait 2 hours after they leave the building to bring it up, because that just shows something else. Other than that, I'll have a good night. God bless you for this year. And my manager, my solicitor, we got him over 2 places. We're going to cut him in half. And that clown.
I don't like that talk.
Yeah. Thank you. Mr. Mariani?
Congratulations to everybody, and I have every confidence that we're going to have a good 2014, even better than we had in 2013. And we'll start off with the business for 2014. Now, our chairman agrees that it's desirable to reduce our need and the use of host fees, as he said at the last meeting. He agrees with that. And he mentioned an increase in business and the resultant taxes, if we could increase our business participation here, and the taxes and the money that they could produce. But businesses don't pay taxes, they collect taxes. And usually what they do when you increase their taxes, they pass it on to their product and the product cost until those increases get to the point where they result in the product becoming non-competitive. And then at that point, you lose the income, you lose the business, and you lose the jobs. Real property was mentioned, and it's used by 98% of all the townships in Pennsylvania. But I believe that's becoming a limited source of revenue. And it's especially burdensome on seniors. We have 34,300 residents here in Falls. 12.7% of them are over 65. You got another 21.8% of that total that are between the ages of 45 and 65, and they're getting close. Now, we all know that there are sources available to us. We went through that at the last meeting. And combined, they can replace our host fees. And since I'm the one that consistently urged this board to expand our tax base, and it must be at least 2 years that I've been asking the board to do that, I'm going to explain to you how I would do it. Now, I reviewed the Municipal Statistics Report Viewer. That's a report that's put out, and it lists every municipality in Bucks County and in Pennsylvania. And the report includes earned income, local services taxes, personal income taxes and tax rates, and the collectors. Now, I was interested especially in the total resident income and the municipal non-resident earned income tax, because almost every municipality, not only in Bucks, but in Pennsylvania, 96% of them levels an EIT, and at the rate of 1%. Occasionally, you'll come across one like Bristol Township that's a 0.5%, or you run into some large cities that are carried away. What that tells me is that regardless of where a Falls Township resident works, he or she is already paying an EIT. None of the top 50 Falls Township employers, if you look at the Bucks County Economic Development Corporation, they list the top 50 employers here, and they go through 1 through 50, is a Falls employer. So that tells me that if you're a Falls working resident, you're probably paying an EIT to another community. And an employee does not pay an EIT both where he lives and where he works. Now, if the tax is withheld by another community where they work, the tax that's withheld by an employer is going to be remitted to the employee's resident jurisdiction. If you look at our demographics here, we have 13,170 households in Falls with a median income of about $50,129. And if you had an EIT tax of 1%, you would have an income here of $6,600,000. So why are we subsidizing townships at the rate of $6.6 million? That's more than 50% of the host fees that we take in. Now, what Falls working person wouldn't want their tax payments to return to their township? So, look, I'm the guy who repeatedly points to Fresno, Stockton, Detroit. I do that. I need about 30 seconds, Mr. Chairman, okay? But I'm also the guy that says that if we don't move to expand our tax base, then the only thing that we learn from history is that we learn nothing from history. If you take a look at Fresno and Stockton, Detroit, and look at their history, and you don't do anything about it, you haven't learned anything from history. So I think this board, you've got the opportunity, it's 2014, let's get started on the right foot, to set in motion actions that will establish fiscal accountability that will result in Falls Township being self-supporting without host fees. You could also have the opportunity to remember, as the board who provided perpetual income, which is something I've talked about for more than 2 years, to all our Falls residents. Every year they get a check. So I'm asking you to listen to me. Do it. Do it, and do it this year. You'll be glad you did. Thank you, and let's have a great 2014.
Right. Thank you.
Better than 2013.
Thank you. Those are the only names on the list. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? I see no hands. Okay, we'll move on with the next agenda item, which is item 6, establish meeting dates and times for the regular meetings of the Board of Supervisors. For quite a while now, the meetings have always been on the first and third Tuesdays of the month, and they've been 7 o'clock for the past few years. Is it the pleasure of the board to keep those dates and times?
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item 7 is appointment of township solicitor and special counsel and to set compensation fees. Board members have been provided with memos from the township manager, from Mr. Clark and his firm, as well as the other firms who represent the township. And at the moment, I'm looking for one of them, so if somebody else has it, they can make it free to make a motion at this point.
We're going to go out of order, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Here's the one. Okay. Memorandum from Mr. Clark is to remain as the solicitor for Falls Township, and to remain solicitor at his current rate, which is the rate from last year, and I believe even the rate from before that, $170 per hour, $300 per hour for land development. Okay, and that's for general counsel. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We have a letter from Mr. Randy Flager, who has served as a land development solicitor for the township for several years, asking to remain in that position. I don't know if is the rate the same as Mr. Gray? Do you know off the top of your head? I apologize. I caught you cold with that. The rate of $335, which is directly to developers, not charged to the township at all. Is there a motion regarding Mr. Flager as land development solicitor?
Yes, I'll make the motion.
Seconded.
Flager is land development solicitor.
Okay. Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. And from Mr. Jordan Yeager, who has been the labor counsel for the township for a few years now, also looking to remain in that position.
It's 140, right?
Is it 140?
40, yeah.
$140.
I'll make the motion to appoint Jordan Yeager of Curtin and Hefner as labor counsel at the rate of $140 an hour.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, item 8 is appointment of township engineer and traffic engineer. Let's see. We have a memorandum from Mr. Sullivan, who's interested in remaining as the township engineer through T&M and Associates. And we also have a memo from Tom Beach, who is asking to remain on as traffic engineer for Falls Township. Is there a motion to reappoint T&M as township engineer following the rates they set forward in the memorandum forwarded to the township?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
And for Remington Vernick engineers, Mr. Tom Beach to serve as the traffic engineer for Falls Township following the rate schedule forwarded to us, a memorandum from December 20th, 2013.
Yes, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And both of those rates, the top rate, which is for the principal engineer, not counting other professionals, is $108 an hour. And it ranges down to workers working at $55 an hour or $60 an hour. So, okay. All right. Item 9, consider township manager's agreement. The agreement for Mr. Gray is taken a look at every January, and the Mr. Gray's contract or employment agreement sets forth standard salary, vacation, sick days, et cetera. Mr. Gray's been an employee for over 15 years, correct?
15 years this August.
15 years as a township employee. as a finance director first, and then for the past several years as manager. Okay. Is there a motion to agree to Mr. Gray's employment agreement pending there's some sort of small language changes have to be looked at, but otherwise, I think overall, is there a motion to adopt Mr. Gray's agreement as manager for Falls Township?
He looks really nervous, but yes.
It looks right.
I'll second the motion.
Yeah, second motion. Should we have some discussion on this, maybe? Yeah. Yeah. Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. Okay, item 10 is appointment of a vacancy board chair. The township, every township has a vacancy board chair. If for some reason one of the members of this board had to step down or was no longer on the board, the remaining board members would be responsible for appointing a new member to take that person's place. There's a potential, of course, since there'll be 4 members here, that there could be a tie, and there would not be a majority decision on who the new member of the Board of Supervisors would be. If any of those things were to happen, a vacancy board chair would come and sit and basically cast a tie-breaking vote. I don't, obviously that hasn't happened here 2000, maybe 99 or something, 2000. So, in 14 years, we haven't really had a need for a vacancy board chair. However, we always do appoint someone. For the past several years, Mrs. Arlene Goulding, is a longtime volunteer, former school board member, has been the vacancy board chair, and she has expressed interest in remaining in that position. Is there a motion to reappoint Mrs. Goulding as vacancy board chair?
Yes, I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Moving to item 11, appointments to various boards, councils, and committees. One appointment we want to sort of start off with. We do have a vacant auditor's position, and Mrs. Rosemary Malashevsky, who has been in that position before for quite a while, has expressed interest in being reappointed to that board. The auditors essentially have one meeting a year. It's typically a little less than 10 minutes in length to essentially approve the bond that is set for people who can sign checks here in the township. It's not a paid position, and so she's asking to be reappointed to that. Is there a motion to reappoint Ms. Rosemary Malashevsky to the Auditors Board?
Yes, I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there we have a variety of other openings. Okay, a variety of other openings on our other boards and commissions. And, do you want to say something about the Sure.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes.
When talking to some of the board members, we've had sort of an unusual situation this year where we have a lot of very, very qualified people putting in for essentially, a pretty limited, well, not a limited number of spots, but kind of for the same spots. And so, it's typically we have a lot of seats that we're always looking to fill. There's some boards that never quite get filled. And this time we have quite a few people putting in. I think for the Planning Commission we have 2 openings and we have 4 people who put in. And it's one of those things where we would I hate to say no to people, but we can obviously only put 2 people in 2 seats. So we hope those people understand the choices that we make. And one of the things that kind of is driving us, we all agreed on, is that we would try and fill the seats that are vacant with people that aren't currently on other boards. Some of the people that have put in to be on some of our boards are already sitting on another board, and rather than have someone taking those 2 seats, we do have a couple boards that require multiple seats, but we're looking for people, try and get as many people as we can. Especially if we get some new people who are interested, then we want to include them. So with that being said, the chair will entertain motions for the various boards and committees.
I'll make a motion to appoint Brian Binney to the Code Appeals Board.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you, Mr. Binney, for your service.
I'll make a motion to appoint William Crawford to the Historic Review Board.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
I'll make a motion to appoint Christopher Virgentino to the Planning Commission.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
I'll make a motion to appoint John Palmer to the Township of Falls Water Authority Board.
Second that motion.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Actually, we, that might have to be a resolution. Does that have to be a resolution? Water Authority? Don't think so? Okay. I know Zoning Board does.
Yeah.
Just a quick question from Mr. Clark. For TOFA, to appoint someone to TOFA, does that have to be a resolution? Zoning Board does, but,
No, I believe that the authority board is just a motion.
okay. I just wanted to make sure. All right. So Mr. Palmer, we voted on, so he's been reappointed, correct?
Reappointed, yep.
Yes. Yeah, okay, we voted. All right, what other,
I'll make a motion to appoint Al Brooks to the Zoning Hearing Board as an alternate. I believe there's one alternate seat on it.
Second.
okay, motion made, oh, that has, does have to be a resolution, yeah. So this would be Zoning Board has to be resolution, so this would be Resolution 14-1.
-1.
Okay, appointing Mr. Al Brooks to the alternate seat on the Zoning Hearing Board. Okay, motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye. So you have to make a motion to, for the resolution, correct?
For the resolution, right, yeah, just approving the resolution to appoint him.
Because we have Colin Henderson being reappointed. I'm going to make a motion to reappoint Colin Henderson to the Zoning Hearing Board.
So that would be Resolution 14-2.
14-2.
2.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Mrs., let's see, there's nobody else here. Technology. Yeah.
Make a motion to appoint Mrs. Glasscock to the Shade Tree Commission.
Second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Mr. Boraski's first motion.
Mm-hmm.
Supervisor Boraski,
Very,
sorry.
yeah, very good. He's very good friends with the Glasscock, so I figured he would enjoy doing that. Yeah. Let's see. Mr. Thomas Roach has been a member of the Police Pension Committee for quite a while, and I would like to make a motion to reappoint him.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Likewise, Mr. Henry Conroy, longtime member of the Police Pension Committee. I'll make a motion to reappoint him.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Mr. Galloway has been our supervisor representative on that board. I'm assuming you would like to remain on that?
Yes.
Do we have to vote on that, Mr. Clark, or is that just understanding? Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Any remaining, taking a look over the list of openings we have here. You want to do him? Phil McAloon has put in for an to be reappointed to the Environmental Advisory Council. He's been on there for several terms. I'll make a motion to reappoint him.
Second the motion.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Yeah, Michael Dixon requests to be appointed to the Parks and Rec Board. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Is that a reappointment?
No.
No,
I think that's it.
he's new. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. All right, we do still have some openings. Cable Advisory Board, Community and Economic Development, Disabled Persons Advisory Board, the Environmental Advisory Council, Historic Preservation Commission. Let's see. And I believe that's it. So we do have still have a couple openings on some of these boards. I know they're listed on the township website for anybody that's interested. These are boards that meet usually once a month. A couple of them meet actually less often than that. They are not necessarily public like you would see here. You know, they're public in the sense that people can come, but obviously they're not televised, they're not recorded, and they don't usually get, you know, the kind of crowd that we usually attract. But they are boards that you don't have to have any kind of special expertise on. We just ask for people that want to help make the township even better than it is, and we have a lot of very, very good volunteers, many of whom I see in the audience as we speak, who have really helped out over the years and giving this board some guidance and help in doing our job, helping our professionals, and helping really put this township on the path it's been on. So we thank everybody who sent letters in, and we still have some openings, so please feel free to take a look at the website. I think also probably the cable channel might have them listed.
Yes.
Either one of those, and you can put a letter in of interest or an email to any one of us or to Mr. Gray, and that would help us tremendously. So, okay. All right, item 12 is to make an appointment of depositories by resolution. Mr. Gray, do you want to explain essentially what this matter is?
Each year, the board adopts a resolution designating certain banking institutions as township depositories. We have a total of 6 banks that we currently use. They are First National Bank, First Service Bank, Pliget, SCI Investments, Invest, and JP Morgan Chase Manhattan. This list also includes Bank of America, First Trust Bank, Citizens Bank, and TD Bank. Those 4 banks we do not currently use, but we do have those available in case the township would ever want to consider going to another financial institution. And this resolution provides the list of all these different banks in the event that the board ever would want to use these additional banks, and to also show notification that we do use these current banks as well. So at this time, the board is asked to consider this resolution designating banking institutions for the year 2014.
Okay, comments or questions for Mr. Gray regarding the appointment of depositories?
Is this the same list as last year?
Yes, it is.
And is the majority of our money in First National of Newtown?
No, we have quite a bit at SCI Investments in Oaks, Pennsylvania. First National Bank is our main bank. That's our general fund and our payroll. That's the bulk of our transactions go there. But the bulk of our holdings is at SCI.
Okay, thank you.
No questions, no.
Okay. Mr. Gray, just in general, how often, I'm imagining it's Mrs. Rukoff who does sort of the review of these institutions and the interest rates and things like that?
Yes, that's correct.
How often does she do that? Is it weekly, monthly, quarterly?
Quarterly.
Okay. All right. Okay, so again, we heard earlier from Mr. Mariani about township finances, and we have the good fortune to have not only Mrs. Rukoff, who's a wonderful finance director here at the township, but also Mr. Gray, who served in that capacity before, has a tremendous amount of experience. And so we have 2 people at the top of our food chain, I guess you can say, who have a lot of experience in finance, and that was something we did on purpose when we hired Mr. Gray. And both of them take a great deal of pride in the work they do. They do a very good job. They have a very good staff that works with them, and they're always looking to put the township's money where it is going to do the most good. And that is a constant thing, as you heard, in terms of looking for ways to maximize the investments we have. So we thank them for that. If there are no more questions, any public comment? I see no hands. Is there a motion then to approve Resolution 14-3, which would designate certain banking institutions as township depositories?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. All right, item 14 is nominating a delegate and alternate to the State Association's Annual Education Conference. This is what's called PSATS, Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors. I know Mr. Dents has gone to this before. Mr. Gray, I know, has gone before as well.
Skip 13.
I skipped 13?
Yeah.
Did I? Oh, I'm sorry. I did skip 13. I apologize. All right, well, 14 is not that interesting anyway. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
13, a recommendation to the Board of Auditors to set the treasurer's bond at $2 million. Mr. Gray, what kind of treasurer's bond is this? What's it for?
Each year, a recommendation is made to the Board of Auditors for $2 million for the treasurer's bond. There are 3 bonds that are in place for 3 representatives of the township. They include the township manager, the finance director, and the secretary treasurer. The money is put in place to, if in the event the money ever left the township's account, somebody stole the money.
So if we start getting emails from you in Tahiti and you
Yes,
announce
that's
that you're not coming back, we can, we're covered in case, for whatever money you stole. Okay. And this is, again, a standard thing. Is there a motion to recommend to the Board of Auditors to set the treasurer's bond at $2 million?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And again, back to the PSATs. This is a conference of township supervisors from around the state that meet to discuss different issues and go to workshops on different issues that affect townships throughout the state. It's in April every year. We don't have to appoint someone at this meeting. Typically, we allow the board members to take a look at their calendars and check their schedules. This is a conference that's held during the week. It's not on a weekend, and so I myself have never gone because of the nature of my job, not being able to take off that many days during a week, and not feeling comfortable doing that. Mr. Galloway's in the same boat. Mr. Snipes has gone before when he was a supervisor. Mr. Dents, and so we'll sort of leave this open and come back to this at a later date to see if anyone's interested in going, if they have the ability to go and the time to go during that time period. Okay. Item 15 is consider a fee schedule for code, fire, parks, and recreation. Mr. Gray, you want to summarize this, please?
Yes, this is a resolution for the 2014 fee schedule. This fee schedule includes charges for subdivision and land development security accounts, escrow disturbance escrow accounts, earth disturbance escrow accounts, park and rec services, fire permits and inspections, and miscellaneous fees. This particular new fee schedule will supersede any other fee schedule that was in place prior to this one. Some of the major changes for this fee schedule take place in the Park and Rec Department, in the pool memberships, and some of the other various items, including summer camp as well. The board is asked to consider this resolution at this time.
Yes. Yeah. In terms of the park and rec fees, we did increase some of the park and rec fees, as Mr. Gray pointed out. And the reason for doing that was when the recession first hit, 2007, 2008 time period, the board made the decision really to try and hold the line on those fees. We felt that while people were going through some difficult economic times, it was sort of important to us to sort of allow people the accessibility of getting to some of our programs and trying to keep the fees at the levels they were, to basically kind of freeze them. That was something we did as a service we felt to the people here in Falls Township. Several years on, we know that the recovery is slow for some. However, the township it does have to sort of recoup the costs that they have, and so it's gotten to the point where we do need to make some increases in a couple of our programs just so we can cover our own costs for the staffing and the facilities that we use, and in the case of the pool, things like chemicals that we have to use all the time, and the electricity and everything else that goes with that. So I did want to point out a couple of the changes that we've made regarding permitting, things like roofs, decks, and sidewalks, which used to be permit fees used to be based on the value of the job, is now essentially going to be either square footage charge or a flat fee. This is something that board members and members of the public have talked about for a while now, and sort of making it a little bit more fair. If you're coming to take a look at a job someone's doing on a roof, if they're replacing the shingles on their roof, if it's a house in Thornridge, let's say, standard sort of size house in Thornridge, if someone's using expensive shingles and somebody else is using less expensive shingles, if it's the same size roof, does it really make sense to charge people different prices? It's the same, essentially the same job, it's the same square footage. So so we have made that change as well. Okay. Any other comments or questions for Mr. Gray regarding the different fees and for code, parks, and fire?
No.
No.
All right, any public comment needed? See one hand. Is there a motion to open public comment?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Biddy?
Good evening, I'll be brief. I applaud you for making that move with the residential permitting. I would hope that you would, in the future, look further to, under the same logic you just described, just because somebody's using more expensive material, try and gear that a little towards more commercial people also, rather than still keeping that on a cost basis. I think that's kind of an old formula, and I think it'd be fair for everybody if you continue what you started and do that in the future.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Any other public comment? See no hands. Is there a motion to close public comment?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this would be Resolution 14-4.
4.
Okay, is there a motion then to approve Resolution 14-4, setting the fee schedule for Code, Fire, and Parks and Rec?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. All right, the minutes are for December 3rd, 2013. Comments or questions regarding the minutes? Corrections? Any additions or anything like that?
No.
Everybody's good? Okay. All right, is there a motion to accept the minutes for December 3rd, 2013 as presented?
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Excellent minutes, Mrs. Pullen. I'll start.
Okay, we do not have a need for an executive session, I believe. Manager comment, Mr. Gray, I believe you have a few things.
Yes, just a few items tonight. First item I have is the township received a letter from Aaron McCloskey at Bergman Associates dated December 26th regarding the AutoZone store located at 482 West Trenton Avenue, requesting a 90-day extension on this project. The board is asked to consider this extension.
Okay, comments or questions regarding this request for an extension?
The location is the old JB's Bistro, is that right?
Yes.
On West Trenton?
Yes.
No, that's all I have.
Yeah, that's a section that people don't necessarily know is Falls Township.
Right.
But there is a little bit of a sort of a sprig of Falls Township that shoots down West Trenton.
Very odd how it goes down West Trenton.
It is. It's kind of strange. Yeah. There's a map up there. You take a look. It's a little weird. But no comments or questions. Is there a motion to approve the 90-day extension?
Yes. So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item, Township received a letter from Jim McCann at Pannoni Associates dated January 2nd regarding South End Water Storage Facilities Project. They are requesting a 90-day extension on this project. The board is asked to consider this extension.
Okay, any comments or questions?
This is a water tower they plan on putting down on MY Lane, correct? And
Yes.
Street.
Right.
At the
South End.
of the parks.
South End.
We're Morrisville Water Authority, correct?
Morrisville Municipal Authority.
Municipal Authority. No, that's all.
All right, is there a motion to approve the 90-day extension?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
On Thursday afternoon, January 2nd, I declared a snow emergency for the township starting at 6:30 p.m. that Thursday evening, continuing until Friday evening, January 3rd, until 6:30 at night. By declaring this, the township snow trucks would be able to plow all the roads in the township without cars parked on the streets. Per the township ordinance, the manager may declare a local emergency subject to ratification by the Board of Supervisors within 7 calendar days thereafter. At this time, the board is asked to approve this action imposed by the township manager.
Okay. Comments or questions for Mr. Gray?
No.
No.
No, any public comment? Okay. All right, is there a motion then to ratify the decision of the township manager regarding the state of emergency?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye.
Employment agreements have been secured for the township's police department's 4 lieutenants, Lieutenant Airy, Lieutenant Pletnick, Lieutenant Ward, and Lieutenant Whitney, commencing January 1st, 2013, and ending December 31st, 2017. These agreements are all similar. At this time, the board is asked to consider approval of each of these employment agreements.
One vote, Mr. Clark?
You can take them, they're all substantially similar, so you can take them all at the same time.
Okay. All right, and these are retroactive back to 2013, you said?
Yes.
I just want to make sure people didn't think you misspoke when you said January 1st, 2013. Yeah, they are retroactive back to last year. Comments or questions for Mr. Gray?
No.
Okay. I want to thank you. There's a lot of work that went into this. I want to thank Mr. Gray as well as Mr. Yeager, I think also was doing a lot of work on this.
Mr. Truelove.
Mr. Truelove. So I want to thank all of you guys for doing a lot of work on that, and for the lieutenants as well for their hard work. Is there a motion to accept the employment agreements as negotiated as presented?
Yes, so moved.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I do have one more item. Excuse me. Dynamatrix Corporation, at the last meeting, the board approved an agreement. There was a revision in the terms. This particular item is for 2 years for a total cost of $88,600. The board is asked to consider this agreement for 2 years at $88,600.
Okay. Comments or questions from board members?
There's a lot of confusion with this agreement at the last meeting when we approved it. But yes, I'll make the motion. No, I have no other comments, unless anybody else does.
I don't have any other comments, no.
Just glad it's all worked
Yeah,
out.
I'll make a motion to approve it finally.
Okay. Motion, is there a second?
Seconded?
Motion made and seconded. Mrs. Pullen?
Mr. Galloway?
Yes.
Mr. Boraski?
Yes.
Mr. Harvey?
Yes.
Mr. Dents?
Yes.
Mr. Rocco?
Yes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, brings us to board comment. We'll start with our newest member of the Board of Supervisors, Mr. Boraski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of thank yous. I want to thank District Justice Vislowski for coming tonight, swearing me in, and also my family for being here and sticking by me for the last year during the campaign. And I look forward to the next 6 years for the township. Thank you.
You have 143 more meetings.
Give or take a couple.
I just did it, yeah, give or take, yeah.
Who's counting? Thank you very much. I'll come back to what's Mr. Galloway?
Well, I just want to welcome Mr. Brasky and congratulate him.
Thank you.
Look forward to serving with you. I have 4 years left on my sentence, so. But thanks, it's good to see you here.
Okay. Mr. Dents?
Yes, again, I'd like to welcome Mr. Boraski. Look forward to working with him. One more Jeff up here. Even though I'm the youngest Jeff, I'm still the original Jeff. Our last meeting, we formed a traffic committee, and we were asking residents that were interested in being part of that committee, working with the police to try and work on traffic speeding, which is a big complaint we get all the time. I did get a couple emails from a few residents, but we still, if anybody's interested in being part of this, we'd like to hear from you. You can email any one of us or Mr. Gray. And lastly is the weather has been really crazy. Saturday morning, I believe, I woke up to 2 degrees, my thermometer said. This morning I woke up, it was 59 degrees. And then when we leave here tonight, it's supposed to be about 10 degrees. So just be careful, because ice everywhere. It's supposed to be really bad tomorrow morning. And I think that's it. That's all I have tonight.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rocco?
Yeah, I'd like to thank, I'd like to welcome Mr. Brasky. It'll be a fun, at least 4 years with me. And also, Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you again for chairing the meetings for the next year. There's a lot of extra work that goes into it and dealing with the public, so I do appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. I do appreciate the trust that the 4 members put in me, and it's an honor to work up here with these 4 gentlemen, adding Mr. Boraski, who I've known for a while. I'm glad he's here. As I said at one of our previous meetings, that he should be very, very proud of the campaign he ran. He ran a campaign that was 100% positive. He's a true gentleman, and I'm glad to have him up here, and looking forward to working with him. And all the board members. This job, the job of chairman isn't, it could be harder, I guess you could say, if I didn't have 4 members who really, put all the effort in they do. The job really isn't, quite that difficult, really. So. Thank you guys for making this job a little easier and for all the work you put in, or the work you're going to put in. Just one point to bring up. I wanted to say this first, so I didn't end on a bad note, but unfortunately I did it backwards. I did get a complaint over the weekend regarding snow, and it's something that, you know, had I known at our last meeting that we were going to be getting this much snow, I would have made a more public announcement of this. But it is illegal to shovel or snow blow or plow snow from your property into township roads. That was a law we passed several years ago. It is creating an unsafe situation. Plows come through, whether you're living on a state road or a township road, plows come through to clear the roadway, and you making the road snowy again because you don't want to put the snow on your yard, you want to put it on the street, and just expect the plows to come by again and plow it out of the way, is creating a hazardous situation for somebody. You know, people are going to be out there driving, they're going to hit a patch that is iced over or is slushy or is snowy that you put there, and someone's going to get hurt. It is illegal, and I'm going to be speaking with our chief of police to make sure our police officers know that that is something they should be enforcing every time they see it. You know, that is something, it's, you know, you don't have the right to create a dangerous situation for other people. So hopefully we've seen the last of the snow until 2015, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I would like to thank everybody for all the work they put in 2013. We have a very good staff here, great administrators. We want to thank all the professionals who are here, and the ones who aren't here as well, different attorneys and engineers who work with us day in and day out to make this township the best it can be. It is a privilege to live here. It's a privilege to serve, and I thank everybody for all the work they did. And let's echo Mr. Mariani's comments and look forward to a great 2014. And with that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you.